Final Fantasy XVI is almost here. The last trailer for the game generated a ton of hype, giving us a look into the world of Final Fantasy XVI. But after that appetizer, fans are ready for the full meal. And soon we will find out what Chef YoshiP has been cooking. And you're gonna want to hit that subscribe button because this is the exact announcement I want to hear about Final Fantasy XVI. In my previous video, it was rumored that Final Fantasy XVI would be opening pre-orders on the day of the Game Awards, with the release date likely being announced at the show. Well, now we've gotten practically solid confirmation of this, with the Game Awards official Twitter tweeting out, quote, "Next Thursday, Game Awards is humbled to welcome Naoki Yoshida, producer of Final Fantasy XVI, to the show for a very special live presentation." So this is absolutely happening. Final Fantasy XVI is going to be at the Game Awards. This is not speculation, this is a fact. And YoshiP himself will be there for a special live presentation. It would indeed make the most sense if YoshiP was there to personally announce the release date. Again, this is something that he said he's wanted to do before the end of the year 2022. I cannot think of a better place to do that than the Game Awards. But what I find most interesting here is the wording, live presentation. Of course, I don't expect him to just get on stage and announce the release date for Final Fantasy XVI. That doesn't tend to be how these things work. Usually at the bare minimum we get some sort of short trailer. But the words live presentation make me think that there is some sort of demonstration going on. After all, a trailer isn't what you usually call a live presentation. Him doing a very special live presentation makes me think that there is going to be some type of Final Fantasy XVI gameplay demo. And by that I mean a live presentation, not something that the general public will download off PSN. If I had to use my NSP prediction powers and tell you what I think they're going to show off there, I genuinely believe that it's going to be a live demonstration of a boss fight in Final Fantasy XVI. Likely an over-the-top set piece that you'd want to demonstrate at a mainstream game show. Cut before the very end of the boss fight, show the Final Fantasy XVI logo, and then followed by a release date. Or at least that's my prediction. The significance of this either way is that if this live presentation truly is uncut gameplay of Final Fantasy XVI, then it will be the very first time that we'll be laying our eyes on the game actually being played. It's worth noting that across the game's 3 trailers, we've only seen a grand total of 1 minute of gameplay. And I don't know about you guys, but I'd always much rather see gameplay in trailers than story. Gameplay actually motivates me to want to play the game. Seeing story stuff just kinda spoils me. So I want to see real gameplay footage of Final Fantasy XVI. And whatever they show off, I want the majority of it to be in-game, controlling Clive, showing us what the experience of playing Final Fantasy XVI is actually going to be like. Not only that, but the age rating has been approved for Final Fantasy XVI in Brazil of all places. And the listed content for Final Fantasy XVI shows that it's going to be the most mature Final Fantasy game yet. I assure you, we have never had this stuff in a Final Fantasy game before. Now bear with me for a moment while I talk about this, as it may sound like I am dancing around saying some words, and I kind of am, as YouTube will demonetize or age restrict you for even talking about some of this stuff. So I'm going to try to be as direct as possible without upsetting the neural network. But Final Fantasy XVI's content includes crimes that are performed when you hate a certain group of people, which I theorize will be centered around the game's mages known as bearers in this game, people who can wield magic and are alluded to be treated as second-class citizens. Starts with D and rhymes with hugs, and the world's oldest profession, the tuition of the pros, all of which is set to be featured in Final Fantasy XVI, according to this Brazilian age rating. Without a shadow of a doubt, Final Fantasy XVI is going to be the darkest, most mature Final Fantasy title yet, handling some extremely heavy themes that I don't think we've ever seen the series handle. Now, such things have been alluded to in Final Fantasy VII, but it's never been anything explicit enough to be mentioned on the age rating criteria. This game's handling a lot of very serious, dark issues. Couple that with the fact that icons are set said to be an allegory for nuclear warfare. The end result is going to be a Final Fantasy game in which we have never seen the likes of.